Solow Sportsters, we are here on some stunning grass courts to bring you a review of the Wilson RF. That's it, just the Roger Federer racket. It's not a pro staff, you have to hear about it. Stay tuned. For this playtest, we decided to string up the racket with Luxilon Big Banger ALU 1.25 at 54 pounds. I think it's the perfect harmony to use that iconic Luxilon string with this new RF racket. It has the perfect blend, the silver matches well, really sits nicely, gives you that control that you need. What do you guys think? What would you put in this racket?
The new Wilson RF01 specs are set to impress, but this hush-hush early release racket still has some specs to be determined, but it does have a 98 square inch head size and an unstrung weight of 300 grams equaling 10.6 ounces. The string pattern is open as a 16-19 with a tension range recommended from 50 to 60 pounds. The unstrung balance is at 31.5 centimeters, making it 9 points headlight on this standard length 27-inch racket. The grip is an RF Pro Performance grip, and the color is anthracite, which we'll tell you more about in this video.
Roger and Wilson have thought of it all when it comes to this silo. They offer 3 variations of the racket to really encompass every player looking to get on court. So our highest level racket is the RF Pro. It's 320 grams, unstrung, quite a heavy racket, and a 16-19 pattern. Then your standard weight is just simply the Wilson RF, 20 grams below at 300. Same beam, same everything, same string pattern, 16-19. And finally is the mid-weight option, the Wilson RF Future. I love what he's done with the name. He's alluding to that up-and-coming player, that mid-weight racket, 280 grams, and as you've guessed, the same 16-19 pattern and all the other specs. So whether you're an up-and-coming player, a great player, or a high-level tournament player, Wilson and the RF series has something for you in the ever-evolving game.
So while most rackets release in time for large events like the US Open or Wimbledon or the Australian Open, this racket is very unique in that it's releasing on Roger's birthday, August 8th, for Roger. Now, I think Roger's birthday is more important than any of the slams, but that's just me as a diehard Fed fan. But that's really nifty that you actually get something to release a little bit ahead of some of these large tournaments so that you're gearing up for it and you're not just slammed with all these 500 rackets all at once. Also, there are the Olympics going on, so there are a lot of great things going on, but very unique that a company will release a racket for someone else's day as opposed to a particular time on the tennis calendar.
These rackets were designed and engineered for the next generation of tennis players, and that's by Roger himself and Wilson. It's written right on the racket, but you can always expect when Roger's in on the project to find some really nice detail and some really nice accents. So first is going to be on the end of the grommets. You'll see his initials. Instead of just finishing at a cut, it's a really nice touch. Another thing that you're gonna see is there's going to be 2 pinstripes on one side, and that would be for his twin girls. And then when you look on the other side, you'll see 2 more pinstripes. You got it, for his twin boys. Then on the bottom, how cool is that? You don't have your iconic Wilson red cap logo. You have the RF logo, which looks superb. And when it comes to the cosmetic, it's an anthracite. It looks black in the dark. It really brightens up and lightens up to a gray with some sun. It has a color shifting hue. What do you guys think of that? Normally, when you think the RF series, you're thinking Pro Staff, this beautiful version 14 copper color racket, but do not let that confuse you. Currently, it's just simply the RF. It's a new family, it's a new silo, it's a whole new category of rackets. They're totally independent. So this is your classic style racket, and with this racket, Roger has modernized it a bit, gone up to that 98 square inch head, thickened the beam, added some frame geometry, and made it much more comfortable as the game has evolved from this classic, beautiful racket. With this middle RF variation, I had an awesome time on court. A lot of time, your ego will get in the way and you'll say, I have to use that heavy 320, 330 weight, 300 is just too light, but that wasn't the case. This racket performed well anywhere on the court. I was still getting excellent stability back from the baseline. I had good versatility on my mid-court shots, accelerating with spin, flattening the ball out, feel on the half volley, any of those. And just like a pro staff or some of the RF expectations, it plays excellent at net. The volleys were crisp, the depth was excellent, and it played very well. So I want to really urge you, if you're watching, to not feel that need to go too heavy or too light. There's a reason that 300 grams is the most popular weight class amongst all rackets. It's probably gonna pertain to you, so definitely give this racket a try.
The biggest player in the game is launching what will become the biggest racket of the year. This will certainly outperform any limited edition or pro player autograph racket. Roger is always raising the bar, and having his own series of rackets sets him apart, as you will see in the scores of this Solow Sports graded review. The RF01 in my mind is more of a pro staff style than that 6-1 style, and not quite a blade. You will just have to get on the court and see for yourself, but the closest comps on the market would be the Babolat Pure Strike 1619, Head Prestige MPL, or Yonex Percept 97L. Djokovic is setting records on court, and Federer is growing his empire off court.
If you made it to the end, please hit us with a subscribe. It helps with the algorithm. It helps us bring you these videos first. You won't catch them anywhere else. But if you do want to see some more tennis, we're going to require and recommend some videos for you right now.